Kais, training items, and more valuable resources. Start grinding them now. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we have another Elder Kai farming guide now that we have the part 2 for the Path to Power campaign over here on Global Dokkan. Now, there aren't too many Elder Kais in this half of the celebration, but I did want to point out that there are also tons of events available to help you grind out other valuable resources to get you started building up your characters in Dokkan battles. So let's go ahead, let's jump over to the missions page and let's start getting a count of our Elder Kai. So in the part 2, there is only one Elder Kai to be obtained from missions. So I'm not going to count the part 1 because we already did the video on that. So just from part 2 from the missions, by clearing a stage without receiving damage 10 times, you'll receive one Elder Kai. And that's pretty much it. There are a few Elder Kais from log in, but we're not going to count those for the purposes of this video because we did count them in the last. So we've got one for the missions. Now, there are several story events available where you can pick up Elder Kais if you've not cleared these events already. One of them is the Lord Slug story event. By simply loading into a stage and defeating 500 Slug soldiers, you can get yourself one more extra Kai. So that'll be 2 Elder Kais for very little work. It'll take you about a full stamina bar. Enter any of the stages and just go to town, preferably stage 1. It can be any stages, but stage 1 is probably the fastest, easiest way to do it. Load up on AoE enemies, AoE units, and just fly through the event on auto. You'll be done in no time. The weakness to the event is Namekians, but it doesn't really help for clearing the enemies, right? You just got to keep loading the stage. Now, the next event is the Cataclysmic Showdown with Frieza event. This is the event that allows you to recruit the Fizz second form Frieza. It's kind of a similar thing to a lot of these other guaranteed recruit character type missions, right? You simply have to unlock all of his hidden potential using the orbs that you get from stage 10 on this fight, and once you do that, you'll get yourself one extra Elder Kai. So that gives us a total of 3, assuming you've not done any of these missions yet. Moving on, we have the Ultimate Confrontation with the Cell games. This story event, same thing, just like with the Frieza. Unlock the hidden potential of the Goku, and you get another Elder Kai, bringing our total to 4. Again, with the Vegeta, similar event, there is a Mysterious Monster Cell where you recruit the STR Vegeta and Trunks, collect up all of the orbs needed to awaken their hidden potential, and you'll receive another Elder Kai, bringing our total to 5. On the 22nd, we'll also be getting an explosive chain battle, which will bring you more Elder Kais, 4 to be exact, assuming you get all the way up to 100 million points. And I'll be putting out a guide for how to do that once that time arrives. But you can get 4 more Elder Kais, bringing your total to 9. And that is pretty much it for the Elder Kai. So 9 Elder Kais, that's pretty much one full super attack for any Dokkan Fest TUR, or half of the 20 for your Dokkan Fest or your regular yellow coin LRs if you picked up any during your summons for the Carnival Goku. There will be some Grand Kais available when this drops here. Where is it? The EZA for the Gohans and the Cells. There'll be, I think that usually gives 5 Grand Kais of each type, so you get 5 AGL and 5 Int to help you awaken these guys to their SA25. But if you've been summoning for a while, you might have a few extra of these copies already, and then you can just save yourself some Elder Kais if that's the case. You also may have picked up Elder Kais during your summonings, but I mean that will vary from person to person, being that this Rising Dragon Carnival does give Elder Kais whenever you summon, but depending on how much you went will determine how many Kais you went. But there is a guaranteed set of 9, assuming you haven't done all of the events just yet. But that's not all is available. I wanted to go over some of the training items, locations, and places you can go to get lots of Zenny, lots of training locations, and other useful items for awakening your characters. So let's start with the Zenny. The go-to is always grinding out easy A's, right, that you've already completed. But if that's not your fancy, you don't want to do that, there is a slightly faster method using this event here. This is the Dragon Ball Story Galactic Crisis Super Guy and the Galaxy. Simply load up your team with Hybrid Saiyans, enter this fight. This is the Dragon Ball Story, the revamped one. Load up your team with LR Hybrid Saiyans and load into the final stage against Hercule, the level 10. On the Z Heart stage, it's actually really easy to pick up a bunch of Zenny through this, right? Even though it is only dropping the bronze, the silver, and the gold statues, they can add up very quickly. So if you were doing this in conjunction with grinding easy A's past level 30, it's a good way to pick up a lot of Zenny. And being that there are always tons of easy A's coming our way, no matter what celebration you're in, it's always good to have the extra Zenny handed. There's also another good place to grind, the new story stage, although it does cost a lot more stamina. Stage 1 of stage 30 not 30, 29. We're only on 29. Stage 1 of 29 in the new quest mode actually gets you the silver statues. But if you're going to grind silver statues, you can get a lot, but you're better off grinding easy A's if that's the case. But it's still a good way to get them if you're also grinding Link levels. Finally, aside from Zenny, there's also some places to get some good training locations that I want to go over, and I want to make sure that you prioritize at least doing a day or two of full stamina runs on this stage, right? You have two. You have the fight against the spares and the new enemies, androids, and actions. We'll start with this one first. On stage 2, you have the chance to recruit this training location here. Let's open in a new tab so you guys can see it. Right, this training location is the Gravity Chamber 300Gs, and it grants you 40,000 EXP per training partner. And so you really want to prioritize getting this because it's really helpful for awakening units, especially your LR units, because it just makes it so you have to use less and less training items. This one's pretty easy. Just load up a team full of androids and just go a full stamina bar or 2, depending on what day of the week it is and how much stamina you've got, and get as many of these items you can. I always recommend people doing this whenever this event comes back because these items are just so helpful. If not this one, you'll also want to do the fight against despair on stage 2, the android's arrival. Is that the one? Yes. Stage 2, android's arrival for this gravity chamber here. This one is where can we find it? Right here is the 150G, which is still really good. These are the two best training items or training locations that are farmable in the game. So I highly recommend you spend a day or two grinding out a full stamina bar on each of these stages to pick these up. I think it is Future Saga. Yes, Future Saga is the increased drop rate for this one. You can also pick up various type training items, but I wouldn't go out of your way for these. They're not that good. Well, the training weights are still pretty good, but you'll probably pick up more training items along the way doing the the Master Roshi event, being that you're getting Z-Swords and Turtle Shells just about every day. But these things are hard to come by, these training locations, so you want to make sure you're prioritizing these at some point during this celebration because they are very useful. So anyways, guys, that is the video. That is everything you can collect to help you raise your characters. You've got 9 Elder Kais. You've got places to farm some Zenny because there are some easy A's coming up you want to be ready for, and you want to make sure you have the Zenny to awaken your characters to their full Extreme Z status. And you also don't want to miss out on those training locations during this part 2 because they are some really good items that will help help you raise your characters. So hopefully you guys found this helpful, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, how are you doing on training locations? I'm actually going to be spending a day or two grinding these out because I am really low after the recent stint in the last couple of months, picking up a bunch of units I ended up needing to awaken. So I'm kind of low. I'm going to be grinding them out. Would love to hear what you guys are going to be focusing on for the second half of this campaign. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.